Well, Chizzy has made a final here before. One of his 7 European Tour finals prior to this weekend was here in Gibraltar 3 years ago. He lost that final against Michael van Gerwen.
140.
He's had the agony of defeat in a Gibraltar final. He wants a different outcome this time around.
I think that's the key to what Dave's trying to unlock by using new darts, and especially this year with winning more titles to rack up his ranking list.
96.
He wants to take the step to the next level, which is being a major champion, and he finally, I think, really believes that it's time for him to do it.
140.
Well, just to illustrate what Chisnall has done this weekend, I talked about the averages. 103.4 against Desvan, 101.4 against Watamena. James Wade,
100.
in that quarter-final, he was 106.1, and that included that leg of perfection. Tops for Ratajski.
80.
And even though the average dipped to 97 in that epic semi-final against Nathan Aspinall, what a belter that was as well. His tournament average, 101.62. It has been sensational from Chisnall. Ratajski already has had a weekend to remember, but he doesn't want it to finish here and now. He wants to go one step further, but Chisnall in control at 2-0.
Dave Chisnall, make no mistake, has come into this final with an idea of blowing Ratajski off the board early. He's doing a very good job of it. Well, come on, Rob, we've got to tell the public at home. And I know why you're laughing.
Well, Dan Dawson accused me of being a bit big time when I mentioned this earlier, but I'll let you tell the story.
It's totally apt, though. Roger Shaner, the manager of Dave Chisnall, approached my co-commentator here and said, Rob, do you happen to have those Dave Chisnall flights that he gifted to you earlier in the weekend? And Rob said, why do you need them? He said, yeah, he's actually giving all the other ones away. So Dave Chisnall hopefully won't have any mishaps with his flights here, because he might have to finish the match with 2.
What sort of percentage should I get for this, by the way? 2.5% for providing the flights. I should have ironed this out before we handed them over.
Should have had your contract lawyer on speed dial.
120.
Well, the flights have come out, and that has been a fairly prominent feature of the latter stages of his campaign. It happened a lot in the semi-final, happened a bit in the quarter-final as well.
He'll be using
staying in.
He'll be using new stems, and I think he's still trying to figure out exactly which stem he wants to use with this new
84.
setup. It's obviously worked really well this week, but it hasn't been perfect. He might need some sort of locking system on the stem, or maybe a spring-loaded ring, which is something that you see on the Ratajski stem.
140. There you go, 104.
It's a work in progress, but it's a fine work in progress. Oh boy, he's going to shoot him out again. Tops again. Ooh, 64. So close. And Ratajski may need to ping this. 1-2-4.
Yeah, otherwise he really will be in trouble. Devastating from Ratajski once again. Double 11.
Game shot on the third leg.
A huge leg for Christoph Ratajski.
Fourth leg, Christoph
could so easily have found himself 3 down. As it is, he's in touch at 2-1.
I think Dave Chisnall was showing us a look of frustration there, not getting a shot at a leg-winning double, but even he would say, ooh, that was good.
Yeah, he will acknowledge that as well. 1 break apiece then. Ratajski back on track, trailing 2-1. Is he staying there?
140.
Surprised he did. Gerwin Price this weekend has had that wobbly second dart when he's nestled it with dart 1, and he's used that 54 and the 57 to great effect. Dave was a bit stubborn there.
37.
But then again, he does love a 180, doesn't he, Dave?
Well, Christoph Ratajski's performance this weekend, he was on 17,000 on the European money list coming into this, so he's guaranteed 10. That would take him on to 27, and that would be enough to put him into the top 16 seeds for the European Championship.
Look at the league, 170 or 132. Gets the lower number.
33.
Peter Wright started the weekend on 52,000 on the Euro money list.
128. Christoph, you require 132.
Well, of the two finishes left, you'd much rather have the 132 because it's got an out and it's not going to be used by Ratajski. And we know that Dave Chisnall has the capability
69.
of taking out this difficult finish.
134.
Well, just as well he found that treble 20. It's a little bit of a problem visit, though, for Ratajski. However, Chizzy here, single 14, so 60 away.
94. Christoph, you require 63.
Not a gimme, this 63.
Yeah,
but it's just got easier.
just made life a little bit awkward for himself, but one dart remaining at double 12.
He's showing a full flag. Christoph Ratajski.
Once again, Ratajski comes up with the answers. I mean, he has found himself in these little pockets of trouble here and there throughout the weekend, but more often than not, he has dug himself out of these holes.
I love that Ratajski celebration, though. It's the only one he's got. That Robocop double arm gun celebration. It's brilliant. It's not rehearsed either. Nothing is
100.
when it comes to the presence of Ratajski. The action itself is rehearsed. Of course, he does a lot of practice. But everything else is really natural. He's not
81.
what Mark Walsh would call a red carpet dart player, but boy, does he walk the red carpet well.
Well, Dave Chisnall's recent form on the European Tour has been exceptional. He was an absentee in Prague and in Riesa, but now he's in 3 of his last 4 European Tour events. He has made at least the semi-finals. Champion in Denmark, semi-finalist in Mannheim, finalist here.
85.
And that allied with his prowess on the Pro Tour as well, on the floor events in Barnsley and Wigan. All in all, I mean, 2019 I think may well have to go down as certainly
100.
one of Dave Chisnall's best 2 campaigns.
I'd have to agree with that.
There was one campaign where he won a cluster of titles, but just in terms of the consistency and the
134.
the recovery that he's had. I mean, he had a long wait. That success he had in February at Players' Championship 2, that ended an 18-month wait for a PDC title for Chizzy.
He said,
just built on it.
he said that he wanted to win 15 titles this year. It hasn't come to that level, but it has been very good. Now, Chizzy's got to move to the left and find an angle for the 57. This game is going to be flipped on its head if the 104 goes.
56.
Ratajski has just silently crept up on Dave. Look what he's doing. He's leaving double 16.
88.
Wish I knew what he was saying to that double 16, because I wouldn't want to be looking in the eye of Ratajski if I was that double 16. It has really let him down on the most part of this weekend.
Just about in the single 20 for Chisnall. Double 10 for 3-2.
50.
I'm surprised he didn't move back to the centre of the yockey. That was a really difficult dart from the left side of the throwing area. But double 8 for Ratajski. This is where he's had his most trouble this weekend. But double 4 comes to his rescue again.
Christoph Ratajski.
Well, 3 legs without reply, and all of a sudden it's Ratajski with the momentum. And you just look back to that 3rd leg when he broke with that big finish, that big checkout. Chizzy looked good value there for a 3-0 lead.
140.
Could so easily have been a very different story. But isn't that just often the way?
100.
Starting to hear a few crickets in the air. It's getting late in Gibraltar, but we're at the midpoint of this final. First 8, remember. I tipped that it was going to go 8-7.
99.
We have no clue, well, no more clue than the beginning of the match who's going to win this one. It's really tight, but Ratajski has wrestled a little bit of the momentum away from Chisnall's start.
Yeah, it was a 1-2-4 checkout that Ratajski had in that 3rd leg after Chizzy had missed darts at tops, or 8 darts at tops for a 3-0 lead. Pivotal moment. Just look at that. Ratajski's also weighed in with his fair share of 180s this weekend as well. That's the first
85.
of the match. It takes him on to double figures for the weekend.
82.
Chizzy far and away the leader on 16. Missed the bullseye by a mile there, did Ratajski.
Great recovery.
Double 12.
58.
just get the feeling, something that we talked about in the semi-final with Gurney. Ratajski looked comfortable in this heat. It's stuffy in that arena.
60.
Chisnall starting
24.
to show signs of exasperation.
He's on the sixth leg, Christoph
again,
Ratajski.
there's not a lot wrong with the finishing. Okay, he needed a helping hand there. He had the opportunity to return. But once again, the average is very healthy indeed. Look at that,
96.
just under a ton for both of them. That's very much in keeping with what they've been doing all weekend. They've brought all of that into the final itself.
If Dave is feeling the heat a little bit in there, I'm amazed he hasn't got a towel. He did use his shirt a lot in the semi-final with Nathan Aspinall.
140.
Thing is, if you're feeling a certain way, use anything at your disposal to make yourself feel better. That will make him feel better.
37.
We said it before as well, Ratajski with this 100% record in PDC finals as well. 2 out of 2 this year, 3 out of 3 in 2018.
Is that the new streak we're talking about?
Yep.
140.
Forget about the last leg shootout streak that was basically talked about every weekend with Michael van Gerwen. That one was snapped by Ian White.
Well, talking of MVG streaks, he needed 8 European Tour events to win his first, and now he's gone 8 European Tour events without one. It's his longest sequence without a European Tour win. You have to go all the way back to Graz earlier this year for the last time MVG won a European Tour title. He was dominant.
Before social media goes into meltdown, it's not a crisis. It just happens to be a barren spell. Now, Ratajski,
90.
he will have one hand very
81.
close to the silverware if he gets this 81.
62 away. Bullseye required. It is deadly from Ratajski. It's another break. It's 3 breaks to 1 in favour of the number 7 seed from Warsaw. And Christoph Ratajski is closing in. He needs 3 more legs. But he'd rather be in his shoes right now than those of Dave Chisnall.
Christoph Ratajski looks like he could play at this standard all night
100.
long. You can't fail to be impressed with this Polish
100.
player. He is the flag bearer for darts in his country, and he should be inspiring a whole new generation of dart players. But how long are we going to be watching this brilliance from this player? He is making one of the best players in the world suffer on this stage.
100.
Well, Dave Chisnall is averaging over 102 right now. But still, it's not enough, because Christoph Ratajski has brought his A game to the party tonight. And it just keeps on coming. It is relentless from Ratajski.
You think about what Ratajski does in finals and how he gets faster
60.
and more accurate towards a final.
81.
If he wants to get a new nickname, just call him the finisher, because he finishes tournaments.
He just has this knack. The mindset is strong. And the finishing is strong. And the scoring is evident still. And there is just no sign of any let up here.
Game on.
Normally you'd be thinking, well, when's the wobble going to come? But he just looks so composed.
Well, for me, Rob, he looks about as wobbly as a very big rock. And that ain't very wobbly.
Back-to-back 12 darters on the back of that 13 darter.
He's getting better.
136.
Who's the bet? You know, he's not going to hit anything worse than 15 in this leg, the way he's thrown. And Dave has not played poorly. He's just been hit really hard.
140.
Well, in 2018, Ratajski found himself in a very different situation. He found it hard to qualify for these European Tour events. He made just £11,000 on the Order of Merit, the European Order of Merit. Fell short of involvement in Dortmund last year, but here he is, 12 months on, and it's a very, very different situation for him.
Who's to say that Ratajski can't win the European Championship?
91.
This is going to give him enormous confidence, whatever happens. But right now, a 4-leg lead and 2 legs away from the title, Ratajski is going to be dangerous over the next few months.
58.
Chisnall has got to take this out just to bolster the confidence. He has to go for the bull if he gets the 60. Bullseye.
105.
And that's the difference. Ratajski went for the ball earlier, found it. Chizzy there, couldn't find it. I mean, this would be just sensational if he were to find this 170, but it's not going to be. Chisnall will return for 25, but it would just be a holder throw. 25. I mean, we talked about the doors that were opened by that back-to-back success on the Pro Tour in October of last year. This also would open a lot of doors for Christoph Ratajski as well.
Christoph, he requires 74.
Chizzy can't capitalise, and Ratajski returns once again, just about in the single 14.
I love how Ratajski got confirmation from the referee and checked himself.
Very grateful to see it did land inside.
Game show,
and he makes the most of his good fortune as well. And I'm running out of superlatives here for him because
game on.
This is hugely impressive.
I told you that he wasn't going to throw more than 15 darts in that leg, and he threw 15 darts and won it. 7 straight legs from Ratajski. This has been destructive. One of the best final performances that we've seen this season.
Well, I thought we'd have at least 13 legs. You went for the maximum, didn't you?
I went the whole hog.
Prediction, but it may well be over in 10 legs, this one.
60.
I think Dan Dawson may have to brush up on his Polish.
Fantastyczny is the word we came up with earlier, wasn't it? There's one word he can throw in. I'd just like to say dziękuję. Thank you, because it's been a privilege watching Ratajski this weekend. He's served up some great darts and he's given the crowd a huge amount of entertainment, and he's also put Polish darts on the map, Eastern European darts further on the map, I should say. It's already there, but this is going to take it to a whole new level potentially as well.
I think Ratajski's been giving a lot of people at home an idea on how to gamble responsibly on later in the season in the darts.
He averaged almost 110 against Daryl Gurney in the semi-final. A 117 checkout in the 10th leg wrapped it up after Gurney's bullseye had dropped onto the floor. I don't think he'll need any such fortune here because he is looking good.
91.
And yeah, David, he just reprimands himself there. He's on 82.
Bad times when he says David. That's when you're getting your wrist slapped, Dave.
You very rarely hear that.
David require 82.
Well, this is a chance for one break back.
Come on, David. Do or die. Tops for do.
60.
He may be dying in this tournament. 60 for the title for the first Polish winner on the European Tour.
And tops he wants.
Game.
And tops he gets. And that is an astonishing achievement by Christoph Ratajski. A European Tour champion. The first time we've had a Polish winner on the European Tour. And Christoph Ratajski, he was 2-0 down. He wins 8 legs without reply. It's another ton plus average. And it's another feather in the cap for Polish darts. And what will that do for the game in Eastern Europe?